This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association. Your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Riley Smith.
Good day and welcome to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Today is Friday, September 20th of 2024. We're so glad you can join us for today's show. In today's episode, I have a lot of coverage from the practical farmers of Iowa. Recently, I was at one of their field days in central Iowa near Boughton, and that was on the farm of Dan Taylor. Had a chance to visit about his operation as well as the cover crops they have. Speaking of those cover crops, I talked about the PFI Cover Crop Cost Share Program with Morgan Jennings. But before we get into any of that, let's have a listen to our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soy Checkoff.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
Welcome back to Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. We see a lot of diversified farm operations across the state of Iowa. Dan Taylor's is no different. With their operation he runs along with his son, they also have some added labor on the farm. It's good that they have been able to receive that. They hosted a Practical Farmers of Iowa field day recently to talk about their operation, specifically the diversified nature as well as the cover crops that they are raising. And Dan, tell us a little bit about your farm and what you guys are hoping to showcase for the attendees today.
We're a diversified farm here in central Iowa. We have a beef cow herd. We have a beef feedlot. We finish weaner pigs for Nyman Ranch. And on the crop side, we have corn and soybeans. But I guess what we're showcasing here is a lot of alternatives that we're doing. We are doing oats and then coming back with a sorghum or a millet for summer grazing or for chopping. Of course, we're doing a lot of cover crops and experimenting with that. And I'll also mention some of our alternative crops have kind of wandered into the cover crop category. We were raising peas for bird's eye and canning peas. We've had some sunflowers, which kind of turned into a grazing cover crop type deal after the peas one year. And that worked out really good. Also, we're looking towards rye's been a stalwart of our cover crop program here, and we're looking towards something that's a little more versatile and a little more digestive for our livestock feed. So we're going to run a triticale vetch mix this fall, and we're also branching out and doing some oats that we previously really haven't done much before. So we're just messing with a lot of different stuff here.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty unique to hear about any farm really in Iowa that's so willing to experiment with different cover crop practices. And when it comes to what you guys have messed with so far, what would you say has maybe been the biggest success on this farm when it comes to those cover crops?
Well, I think you could call our summer forages a cover crop as well. I'd say that's been really successful, calling our oats crop. And then running our beef cows in the spring on rye that's seeded in the corn stalks is just kind of our mainstay now, really we'd never take the cows off the corn stalks, but we're able to leave those cows out there till about the middle of May or whenever we can't stand not planting the beans. So that gives us a lot more room to have calves. It's a lot cleaner environment, and it also is doing the same thing the cover crop does with those benefits too.
Had a chance to visit as well with Morgan Jennings of the Practical Farmers of Iowa to go more in depth on the cover crop cost share program, which is now in its 10th year. Morgan, thanks so much for being on today. Could you tell us a little bit again, just as a reminder, what all the cover crop cost share program does for farmers?
Hey, Riley. Thanks again for having me. Yeah, our cover crop cost share program, super exciting. It's in its 10th year, as you said, and it's for farmers who are seeding a fall cover crop on non-organic corn and bean ground. And we are in all of Iowa and then also touch the surrounding states as well.
And then with that program, how much cost share are they getting through that, maybe per acre? And then you guys have benefits as well on top of just the cost share for those farmers enrolled, right?
Yes, we do. So to answer the first part of your question, new this year, we're offering two different payment levels. So it's either $10 per acre, $15 per acre. There is no acre cap, so that's great. Farmers can enroll however many they like. And then we're super flexible on what cover crop species that's going to look like for farmers, whether that's winter hardy, winter kills. We don't have seeding rates recommendations either, or rather we don't have requirements. We do have recommendations, but really we just want to keep it flexible for what works best for farmers. And with this program too, we gift a complimentary membership.
And then for people who want to enroll, is this mostly for people who are already using cover crops, or is this maybe something that could help out someone who wants to start using it as well?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think one of the beauties about PFI's program is that anybody is eligible. Like I said, if you are planting a fall cover crop on corn and bean ground in the Midwest, I encourage you to look into it and apply. You could be brand new to cover cropping. We do one-on-one consultations and provide technical assistance to people who are brand new. We also have farmers who've been in the program for as long as it's been open and have been doing cover crops for a decade. So you don't phase out, I guess, of our program. If you're doing cover crops, you can apply.
And then with this being the 10th year of the cover crop cost share program, obviously plenty of farmers have been into that program now. What's the biggest thing that those farmers say that they really enjoy from this, being enrolled in this program?
Yeah, I would say that one of the biggest benefits that farmers like is with that complimentary membership I mentioned, they have access to our network of farmers. And so they can reach out if they have questions about their operation, and they have the opportunity to host field days as well and teach others, share information, share that knowledge. And I am very much looking forward to seeing that continue with our network of farmers. We actually had 970 people become first-time members of PFI because of this program.
And then, of course, Morgan, one last thing for those of our viewers and our listeners who might be interested in learning more, or maybe even getting enrolled in this cover crop cost share program. I know there's a deadline coming up. When is that deadline, and how can they get enrolled?
Yeah, absolutely. So December 2nd is that key date to keep in mind. That is when the program closes. That's when you need to have the cover crop seeded by. If anybody's interested, I encourage them to go to our website at www.practicalfarmers.org, or you could certainly call into the office as well. Our number is 515-232-5661, and you can get a hold of me or anyone else on our team. We'd be happy to even do an application over the phone. Super slick and easy. Take 10 minutes.
All right, Morgan, thanks again for taking the time to visit today, and good luck as you guys continue on with the cover crop cost share program.
Thank you, Riley. Happy fall.
Thanks again to Dan Taylor and Morgan Jennings for joining us on today's show. Before we wrap things up, let's go ahead and take a look at the closing markets.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net.
At the end of another trading day in the ag marketplace, we are here with Curt Kimmel of agmarket.net. Curt, first off, what do we see going on in the grain markets today?
Well, actually, it's a kind of a hang in there type of day. Today, option expiration, the October, there's a cereal month went off, and D's corn went down to test the $4 level and was able to stay above there. November beans went down to 10.01, was able to bounce back and close up around 10.12. So kind of constructive. The corn has a little bit of a double top on it, so $4 December futures is going to be key support. Corn fell heavy this week, down 11 cents a bushel. Soybeans actually finished up about 5 3/4. They were down about 1.25 for the day, but that up for the week. Wheat futures finished down 26 cents on the week, but up 3 cents on the day. So a lot of zigging and zagging. The big thing is we saw China step in. They picked up 121,000 tons of U.S. soybeans. Then also, too, as we move into midday, the commodity funds kind of added to their selling as they sold about 3,300 contracts of beans, 5,100 contracts of corn. They came back and bought about 3,800 contracts of wheat. Harvest activities picking up. We're seeing a little disappointing yields here in central Illinois, 10 to 15 bushels below last year. This is the 105-day corn, a little earlier corn. Hopefully that will get better, but other areas are doing quite well. So high difference between different areas that we've run into. Decatur has been shutting down early. It's been bombarded, overloaded with whole grain coming in, plus some new crop coming in. This coming week, we'll see a pickup in harvest activity. A lot of guys got going this week, and there'll be more this coming week, so we'll have more yield results. Basis levels, some areas are widening out, and some of the areas are starting to firm up just a little bit, trying to gather some inventory. So there's a wide fluctuation across the Midwest here, Riley.
And then, Curt, on the other side of the marketplace in the livestock complex, how did cattle and hogs do today?
The cattle is up over $2 today, went above the resistance in the D's there at 182. They were up over $4.70 for the week. Hogs finished down just slightly lower on the day, but they were up 290 on the weekly chart for the December contract. Beef sales were up this week. Pork sales about steady. The big thing here, right after this recording, we're going to see the cattle and feed report. On feeds expected to be 100.9%. Placements 99%. Marketing's 96.6%. So we'll see what those numbers are. The market will digest that for a little bit, then go back and start kind of watching the stock market. Man, we've seen the market move with the stock market. Then plus two, if corn stays weak in here, feeders should stay firm.
All right, Curt, lots of great information today. For those of our listeners who would like to get in touch and learn more from the folks at agmarket.net, how can they do that?
1-800-779-1515, or else go to agmarket.net.
All right, Curt, appreciate the analysis as always, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Very good.
That again was Curt Kimmel of agmarket.net. We'll take a look at how those numbers close through the market window at iowaagnet.com. At the close, December corn down 4 even at 401 3/4. November soybeans down 1 1/4 at 10.12 even. October soybean meal down 250 at 317.40. October soybean oil up 41 cents at 42.16. Chicago wheat up 3 even at 568 1/2. Kansas City hard red wheat down 1/2 cent at 564 even. Minneapolis spring wheat up 1/4 cent at 608 even. December oats up 2 1/2 at 367 even. On the Merc, October live cattle up 250 at 182.47. October feeders up 12 cents at 243.90. October lean hogs down 2 cents at 82.22. Pork cutout down 35 cents at 91.20. And October class 3 milk down 6 cents at 23.93. And that's been a check of the markets here on Ag Matters PM. That also brings us to the end of today's episode. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. Also follow us on social media, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, and TikTok. And find our video content as well as previous episodes of AM/PM on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to see when those videos go live. Check out as well our free morning, midday, and closing market podcasts, as well as the Iowa Ag Matters podcast and Pods Potential. You can find those at iowaagnet.com or on your favorite podcasting service at Apple, Amazon, Spotify, and Podbean. From the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network studios in Des Moines, I'm Riley Smith. On behalf of Mark Magnuson, Andy Peterson, and Dustin Huffman, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.